Hello everyone, a brand new edition of Kick-Ons. Traditionally, I start by introducing the Port Adelaide great in Kane Corns and the Adelaide good in Josh Jenkins. I'm going to start by the Adelaide good in Josh Jenkins and the Gold Coast enthusiastic in Dan Gorringe. I think that's fair. Dan, welcome to our family.
Great to be here. Massive fan of the show, as you all know, so finally to be on this set and here is great.
JJ.
What's been your favourite part so far?
Just the vibe here is good. I got a good vibe. The experience is really good, so I'm having a real good time.
Well, I tell you what, I'm a little hurt because there has been a big promo about the fact that Dan's on our show. I may have got cut. I hope you enjoy it.
Next week, I'm on Kick-Ons. Gonna be awesome. Hot takes coming up. There he is, my co-host, Josh Jenkins. Joshy, hot takes.
Mate,
What? Mate,
what are you doing? Get away
hot
from
take
me,
number
mate.
one. Plenty more of those coming up.
Anyway.
Next week, hot takes.
Surely someone else.
Great.
No one else.
Mate,
Here he
beautiful
is.
acting by you.
Yeah, I thought so too. Where were you?
Well, I was available, but I got the boot. They quickly worked out. I know.
Yeah.
Just give you your room.
It was good. I thought so. Kane doesn't always have his shirt off. Because I was told he very much does have his shirt off a lot. So it seems like I got stitched up there. But that's fine.
Now, no doubt you're just thrilled to be alongside me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Richo's roughies, ordinarily, no good. Last week, record-breaking, historical, unbelievable, on Sportsbet's feed. Now I'm thinking 50 to 1, unbelievable. And then
Stop it.
$122. Now, I believe the rule on the feed is 100 to 1 or lower.
Yeah.
You said bugger that.
Bugger it.
I am going north of $122.50.
Unbelievable.
We are... Where's your crown?
I've been to the top of the mountain,
Where's
mate.
your
I'm
throne?
used to it up
Yeah.
here. The view's outstanding. You've been doing some beautiful work as well. You said, quote unquote, JJ, pump up yourself.
Clear the run, mate. Anytime goal scorer multi, Dan. I'm sure you've been copying this on the feed. So Nick Watson, the wizard, he was always going to bounce back and do his thing. This got a little nervy. Now, we haven't got the clock there. That's about 15 seconds to go. But Jai Amos did the job. Jake Riccardi, I thought they'd win by 1,000. They almost didn't win the Giants, but he got the job done. Jordan Dawson, that was a 50-metre penalty. We take those every day of the week. Mitch Owens in the last quarter, in the red centre, goes bang. So
Well
that was
done, mate.
handy. And then Ollie Henry, it's been out of form. Bang off the ground. There you go. There's another one.
Well
Back-to-back
done, mate.
weeks.
You can find a goal. There it is at the juicy odds of $5.24.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, just $115 shy of yours. There you go.
Well done. Hey, follow us on the feed, please. There's all our details there. Dan's will be there as well.
Hey,
Yep.
the biggest dog on the feed.
Really?
Yeah,
How
most
many
followed.
followers?
30-something thousand now, I think. So, yeah, look, we swing for fences. There's not any wins there, which is probably not what I should say. But, look, the energy's good there. The vibe's good. It's all on the feed.
Okay, let's get into previewing the footy, and that should be a beauty. We'll start with Friday night, and it's Adelaide versus Vegas. Biggest test for the Crows, your Crows.
Yeah, absolutely. And credit to the AFL, Dan, for putting this game on. Now, on Channel 7, you could probably, Collingwood and Carlton and all these big clubs. But this is the game we deserve on Friday night footy.
Yeah, it's going to be an absolute, belter here. So this is the Crows' legitimacy test, I think. They win this and they can win the flag, officially.
I agree. I think
They
Brisbane...
can win the flag.
I think so.
Well,
they can win this.
I think they can get to it. This was an unbelievable performance from Adelaide. I watched it from start to finish. Now, we'll get to Sydney later because they are in absolute pain. But the Crows, the thing I loved about this game from the Crows was it wasn't Rankin or Dawson dominating the game, or it wasn't Dilthorpe kicking 6 or 7. It was everyone. The depth of Adelaide is obvious now. They've got so many players. Berry stood up and playing a role through the middle of the ground. The acquisitions of Cumming and Peatling and Neil Bullen have been really, really obvious. So the depth of Adelaide is finally there.
Yeah, they're just a dangerous team. All across the field, defence is really set up. Midfield is dangerous, as you said. So many contributors. Rankin's going in there. Forward line is scary. So I think they're the real deal here.
Yeah, the Thrillthorpe is so
Yes, the thrill
strong.
seeker. He's a monster.
He's fantastic.
Absolute
also,
monster.
You put Jordan Dawson on our radar as well?
Yeah, his role's been fascinating. So this is where, we start to see the depth of the Crows really stand up because they haven't been able to send him forward because they haven't got enough midfielders. But now, with Peatling and Neil Bullen and some of these guys standing up and Sam Berry, they're able to send Dawson forward and he's been able to kick goals. So 4 of his past 5, he's kicked a goal or more in, and he's kicked 7 goals in his past 4 games. So now Dawson becomes a viable threat forward and mid.
Yeah, he's big as well.
He's a big guy,
He's very unassuming as a mid, but he's a big target up there amongst the Giants that are already up there. So he gets on the radar there and gets off the chain.
And that's a big price for 2 goals because I think...
Massive.
Because I think Brisbane might send a Jared Berry to him, that's when I reckon you'll see him slide forward to try and break that tag up.
And what about the midfield of the Lions? Obviously highlighted by Lachie Neale, but...
Well, is it?
Well, that's an interesting point. That's why I raise it.
Is it highlighted by Lachie Neale? Because Hugh McCluggage has been sensational. They have an embarrassment of riches. Embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, they've got so much at their disposal. Look at that. All the midfielders rolling through there. Levi Ashcroft's come in. He's 18, 19 years old. He's just taken like a duck to water in that midfield. So that's where all the damage is being done. That midfield is scary. There's some questions up forward. Can they kick goals? They're just going at the moment, but that midfield keeps them in games.
You look at like Rayner and Bailey. I think Rayner was 14% centre bounce attendance. Bailey 1% or less than. Those guys would be 75% attendance at most other clubs. So the upside in that group is enormous. McCluggage, I chucked him on the feed before the season for All Australian. I tell you what, they nearly need to pay me out already because he is airborne.
He's a lock.
Airborne, and it's his inside-outside stuff. So no midfielder averages more disposals in the front half of the ground than he does. He's number 2 in the comp for goal assists. He's number 5 for score involvements, but he's also doing the tough stuff. So he's in the top 20 in the AFL for tackles and for clearances. He's the complete package.
Yeah, they're absolutely everywhere. I think with Lachie Neale there, 2-time Brownlow medalist, Lachie probably gets the most attention. So let's Hugh get off a bit and everyone forgets, Hugh's probably as dangerous as what Lachie has been.
I was trying to work out what actually makes him so good. Is it just his engine, the amount of running he does?
He's a running machine. I actually bumped into him in New York one day.
Oh, hello.
We were down at the running track. I was watching, he was running. And
he just kept running the whole time.
I wasn't going to get out there and run next to him. He was going to embarrass me. He's just a machine. He was there with Jared Berry. And those 2 guys just run all day. And you see it on the footy field. He gets back and he goes forward and gets involved. He's a running machine.
Could he be a sneaky for the Brownlow?
I haven't thought about him. I've got Baz locked away.
Have you?
Can't say that. I've got Baz there, but
$41.
He's a big price. I reckon he's voted, I had a look at his games. I reckon 7 of 12 games thus far, he would be right in calculations for at least a vote.
Sydney Swans. Let's turn our attention to Sydney Swans versus Richmond. They were horrible, Sydney. And what about post-game? Dean Cox looked depressed.
Wouldn't you?
They are right at the crossroads.
Wouldn't you? Yeah. Now, they were beaten by 100-plus points against Port Adelaide, not that long ago. So they have had these type of performances. But on the back of the game against the D's, so they were smashed at the MCG against the D's, we thought there'll be a response. There was nothing.
Nothing. They stink. Quite frankly, they're absolutely nowhere. It's been remarkable to see the fall off. Grand finalists obviously last year, and probably since then nothing's gone right. So I don't think I give them any chance here against Richmond, which is surprising to say.
Now, you've got to admit, as a Carlton man, you don't like Richmond. You've got to like what they're doing with their kids.
Love them. Always said they're hard to beat. Said that all year. I think they'd win more than at least 5 games. So I've always been on them massively, the Tigers. So, yeah, they're hard to beat. I know that firsthand. So
That's not true.
The Sydney Swans are walking into an absolute abattoir here.
That's not true.
None of that is true. No, it's all just lies.
So the corresponding game last year at the MCG as well, Sydney actually got rolled in this game. So Sydney were white hot coming into this game. I called this game on radio and it stuck with me all year because this was the day Richmond brought great pressure and intensity, and some of the young guys really stood up and got after Sydney. Sydney only laid 44 tackles in the game, gave up 110 marks. Last week, the Swans were $10, Richo. You'll remember, to finish bottom 4.
Well, you predicted this.
Now they're $3.75.
Start of the season, our man JJ said the slider is going to be...
He knows, he's been watching.
I've been watching every night.
Yeah,
I want to see every week.
We're not every night. We're just
to me, you are. Replays.
So, okay, that's going to be interesting. So maybe the Tigers could upset. What about this one? Suddenly this emerged. Geelong versus Gold Coast. Now, Dan, you said something to me very interesting at the start of the show before we got on air. You think Gold Coast are ready to do what?
I think Gold Coast are going to do what they always do. Mid-season, they look unbelievable.
Really?
Track for finals, I think they'll miss the 8.
What?
No.
Yep.
No,
I know.
there's
Hey,
no
guys,
chance.
don't shoot me, guys. Mr. Messenger here. It's my opinion. I think I've seen the script before with them. They look very good. And then something happens at this point of the year where they fall out. Now, they shouldn't, but I've been there. I've seen it firsthand. I'm in the fabric of the club. This just happens to them. So that's what I'm on at the moment.
Wow.
If they win the premiership, would you be in calculation on grand final day to present the cup as a 22-game player?
He thinks they're going to finish last.
I'll be presenting the cup in the rooms, Mad Monday. I'll be everywhere with them. So, yeah, I'm on them, but also I've got a feeling they could slip out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't see that.
No, I
happening.
disagree.
I love what they've been able to do. Grind Myers, though, for the Cats, if they are to win this game, they'll need to take care of Grind Myers. This guy, in the past month of footy, now, I know how important he is to both the forward line but the midfield. He gets so far up the ground. That's why you're seeing almost 25 disposals per game. Almost all of them uncontested, but that's a good thing because he uses the ball so well. You know, he's taking 9 marks a game. Most of those, if not all, would be uncontested. But his ball use, even though he's got the funny kicking style, have a look at it.
A little round the corner
Unique.
chip.
What he can do to create, and he uses, I don't think any player in the game uses the stand rule as well as he does because of the way he kicks the footy. He basically goes around the man on the mark and then hits up those little channels. He's a star.
Yeah, it's like his hips dislocated when he kicks the ball, which is very unique. And I think I saw some stat where he's got the most score assists and has only kicked 2 goals this year. So he's all about just dishing off the ball and the goals to the other players. So, yeah, he's dangerous up and down the ground.
And as a philosophy, you don't agree with that whole idea of being an assist player?
Absolutely not. Take the glory. Take the glory for sure.
Get your name in the paper, Richo.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sam Flanders is on the agenda as well.
Yeah, so his role, we've been tracking this all year. His role, 35 a game last year or 33 a game last year. So 70% of his game at the moment is in the forward half. And he started the season still being able to pick up the footy, but I don't reckon it's what the Suns wanted from him. So 6 out of his first 7 games, he had 20 plus. Has not gone over 20 in his past 4, but he's been able to hit the scoreboard and he's been able to play that high half forward role, Dan, which is a difficult role and a role that not many really want to play, but he's starting to take to it.
Yeah, it is. And I think we all thought he'd be back in the midfield this season with the mids they already have, complementing them. And you thought, okay, high possession getter. But no, as you said, his role's changed completely and he's high half forward, which some games you get a lot of it, some games you get nowhere near it. So he's taken to it well and he's dangerous up forward now as well.
Now, Dan, I know where you'll be Sunday night. You'll be at the MCG. Carlton back from a
Oh,
bye,
boy.
up against the Bombers. How do you see this playing?
This is dangerous. So should win. Let's start with that. Positives. Should win.
Carlton.
Carlton should win. Essendon, full of teenagers. Everyone's injured. This is a game that we should win. In saying that, this is the game that we always lose. Right. So I'm very nervous here. I don't feel good about this at all. As you can see, they're 280 for Essendon. I'm not going to tip them, but that's great value there. And my heart says we win, but I know how this script goes as well. I know my team probably going to lose.
But purely on form, you'd think Essendon. I mean, Essendon's had a win 2 starts ago, then really pushed Brisbane.
Those odds are bizarre.
Yeah.
Head to
They
head.
are ridiculous.
They're bizarre head to head.
I know it's head flip of the coin.
I know Essendon have got personnel issues, but we've got proof against the best or the reigning premier that they can still put up a fight. The George Hewitt to Zach Merritt part of this will be fascinating because Hewitt's been able to put a lot of guys away. So look at the numbers that he's restricted, Dacos and Tom Green, those 2 names in particular. When you let those guys get off the chain, they are 3 vote getters for their team. So Zach Merritt is the one that Hewitt will go after. And it might be a case, Dan, of if Hewitt can keep Merritt under that number or even under 25, it goes a long, long way.
Yeah, I think they've moved Merritt to half back, haven't they? Is that them trying to get some more ball movement?
Just to break that
Yeah,
tag
break
up.
it up. So Hewitt's been great this year. He's probably leading the best and fairest of the Blues. And also, I saw that then, because he's tagging the best players of the other team, he's getting a lot of the ball himself. So he's a dangerous weapon in tagging and then getting the ball.
Carlton top 8. Can they make the top 8?
Absolutely not.
You couldn't even ask that question with a straight face.
So $5.50.
That's hilarious.
Mate.
No,
there's no
absolutely no. Look, again, I'll probably get on that for sure, but I just don't believe that at all.
I reckon they can. There you go, mate. Hey, let's put the shot clock up, Dan. You wouldn't be aware of this, though you do watch the
I do.
Shot clock. So who would you rather be going into the game? So we're going to do it all about Carlton versus the Bombers, and I've already wasted 7 seconds. Who would you rather be?
Going on the night, I'd rather be Carlton. I think their team is better overall. But going into the future, I'm not too sure. There are some question marks up in the air about your baggers.
Yeah, I'm really confused about everything, to be honest with you. So I'd say Blues, but not by much.
And now I'm going to use those 6 or 7 seconds. What's Sam Durren's ceiling?
I wonder about his ceiling. So we love the way he goes about it. He's tough. He goes and plays on opposition midfielders. You know, he can take a great overhead mark, but I wonder if his ceiling is exactly where we think it might be.
Yeah, I think he's real dangerous, obviously, in the midfield. He gives them something different. He's quick. He can do multiple roles.
Can he be A grade or just shy of?
Oh, just shy.
Yeah,
I need to see more from him.
Yeah. Agreed.
What about Nate Caddy? What's his ceiling? I mean, he looks incredible.
Well, a lot of Dan Gorringe about him early. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. So
What about
late? Don't be mean late. You don't want to be that. But I think he could be, yeah, I likened him to Charlie when he first came into the system and stuff I saw of him in the draft. I think he can be literally whatever he wants to be. He's dangerous.
I just want double wraps. The world is going bananas over this guy. And I see the talent, I'm not blind, but he's going to have some bumps in the road. He's playing in a difficult forward line. So let's try and just pull the brakes ever so slightly.
He reminds me of a power forward from Swan Hill.
That's not a good thing either.
It's a wonderful thing. I'd love to have had your career. TDK.
Oh, boy.
Here you go, Dan. Are you okay if he goes? If he leaves the Carlton Football Club?
At the moment, the way we're going, yeah, that's fine. I totally get that. But how could he not? I think we can all safely say he's definitely going to go. That amount of money, I think he's out of there. So if he hasn't signed by now, I think we've tried to sell him the club. He is 100% leaving. So he'll become public enemy number one, but I get it.
Okay, we'll flip it. Plead your case for him. Tell him why he shouldn't leave.
In 4 seconds.
Please, I just love you so much. If you leave, we are in all sorts. But we need you to stay, and I'll pay extra money on top of that salary.
Right, that's very different to what you said off air about St Kilda.
Clear the run, mate. Clear the run, mate.
Hang on, what's this?
I'm taking over this 30 seconds. I just want to know, so Kane's obviously not here, so no Kane so much.
Yeah.
I am stuck between two Carlton leeches. Two guys. Now, I'd rather pick a better. Look at this bloke. Look at him. Me and Paddy. He's got two Brownlows between us.
Oh, wow.
Addressing the club. And then from bad to worse, you two blokes, at least attach yourselves to a winning football club. You haven't won any. Oh,
that's incriminating. That looks worse than what it is. That
is. I'll do anything for money. That's what that is.
You know what that is?
At the expense of the Carlton Footy Club. You two should be ashamed.
And I'm predicting that I would have a lot less zeros on what I've been getting than what you've been getting fancy pants over there.
I do that for free, that stuff. So I just love them so much. I'm giving them back money, so it's good.
Good chat. We're going to talk King's birthday clash after the break. You're watching Kick-Ons. Welcome back to Kick-Ons. We're getting into the King's birthday clash. Of course, the big freeze is absolutely fantastic. What are Neil Danaher? Melbourne, Collingwood. Let's get into it.
Yeah, a bit disappointing the D's didn't get the job done against the Saints because we would have really been arriving thinking, well, what type of game are we going to get? Can Melbourne take it to Collingwood? Now, they still might be able to. But I tell you what, if they've got any chance, please kick the ball straight. Last week, 7 goals, 21 was despicable.
Diabolical. Could not kick to save themselves. So it was really bad. Kicked themselves out of the game. Sold the game, obviously, to Alice Springs. Should they've done that? A lot of questions coming out of it. So they were bad last week. But they're still getting shots on goal, which has been a big change in the last month of football. So they're giving themselves a chance. Just can't kick straight.
I hate to alert D's fans, but they kicked 6-15 in this game last year as well. So 7-21 in this game. And missed some really, like Tristan Petrarca should be kicking that goal, right or left foot. You know, Max, look at that thing. Glenn McGrath would be happy with that outswinger. So they left a heap on the table. They probably should have won the game. Having said that, the Saints played pretty well. So 7-21 there, and as I said, 6 goals, 15 last year. So it's been a constant theme for them.
If this weekend was grand final weekend, Collingwood must be favourites to win the premiership. I know we're only halfway through the year. They are the real deal at the moment, JJ.
Yeah, well, you know how much I'm in love with Brisbane, but considering the fact that the grand final will be at the MCG and not the Gabba, it's hard to go past
they are the
Pies. The only thing is there is a lot of runway left in the season. Yep. They've got to maintain this for a long time.
Yeah. Well, playing your best footy in June's way early to do that. Way too early. So it sickens me how good they are. I think we're definitely staring down the barrel of another Pies premiership. And you look at that, $4 for a flag. That's almost, them being there in the last day of September. So, yeah, they're the real deal.
Collingwood or the field, if I said to you now, Collingwood or the field? If I gave you the rest?
Oh, I'm saying the field because it's such a long way out. Yeah. If you had asked, if they were in the form that they're in right now, in September.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big. Where's the weaknesses of Collingwood?
Well, I think the only numbers, and having a look at so many of their numbers, particularly defensively, they stack up. So this is maybe the area you can beat them. So contested possession, which is not a strength of theirs, within their game style, you can understand why, but they're low for contested possession and they're low for clearance. So if you can dominate around the ball and maybe lock the ball in your forward half, they are hard to score against, but I think that's your starting point. Dominate around the ball and don't let them get the ball out of their back half.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Start there and then see how you go. But they've shown they can change their game plan so quickly. They're a plug-and-play team. Different names to the VFL come up and play really well in the team. So they're doing some things that other teams can't do. And I think Fly McRae's got them humming at the right time. Well, not the right time, but playing some good football.
They're the best thing about them, I reckon. Now, Jamie Elliott's exploded, but they're the equal opportunity offense. So on any given night, they don't have a Charlie Curnow who you basically game plan around.
Yeah.
You're worried about Elliott as a small full forward. Myercheck's having an outstanding season. Bobby Hill's got a Norm Smith. You've got a heap of guys in that forward line.
Membry comes in.
Exactly right, who can kick 2 or 3 on any given night. You don't know who's going to bob up and be the game winner or the guy who can break the game open, and that's the strongest point about them.
Yeah, as you said, back to the point, we take the field or pies. I think it's now become a point here for the league. It's every team versus Collingwood. So we come together as one team unofficially. we merge as 17 others to try and take down the powerhouse, which is the Magpies at the moment. So I'm calling us together as a country. Let's do this together.
Melbourne get within 4 goals?
They potentially... Well, what's the weather going to be?
Well, that's a good
wet.
point, but they need to kick straight. That's the key. You've got to put pressure on this team. So if Melbourne start the game well, you can't keep 1 goal 3. It's got to be 3 goals 1. Put them under some pressure. Ask them some questions. If you leave the door ajar, they'll kick it open.
The next competitive advantage will be the team that can actually work out how to kick goals, as in get a routine. JJ, get a routine.
A funky routine. Yep. But you just got to trust it.
Trust your routine.
Lick the fingers, wipe the backside, couple of deep breaths, a little skip, home she goes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because I'm sitting in Kane's chair, but I think Melbourne are going to win. I think I'm going a bit crazy in this chair. I don't know what's happening.
You're going crazy.
You are completely losing marbles.
Makes sense.
A quick break. You're watching Kick-Ons. The Monday papers have arrived, JJ.
This is not me scared of heights. The ground is better than the sky. Brisbane's ground game in the forward line will be better than Adelaide's aerial attack. I'm taking the Lions.
Dan Gorringe, what's your headline?
Advertiser, here it is. Knuff is enough. Ken is out. Got up to Cairns to play the Giants. I think that this will be his last game. He's on record saying, I'll leave when I think it's time to leave. I think Canberra will be the time that he says, you know what, enough is enough.
AFL have done a lot of changes and they're going to sign Arnold Schwarzenegger to help the boundary umpires throw the bloody ball in.
Yep.
Right. When I read that, I thought it was Arnie Titmus.
No, throw the bloody thing in. It's been going about 10 metres.
Yeah, they're having their troubles,
need somebody, something on their
linguini. You get out there and do it.
It's a very neat thing for you to pick up on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Footy Trip Fund. We're giving it to a debutant who kicked 11 goals, 5 in his career. Dan Gorringe.
Hello.
Here we go. Yeah, give it to me here. So, Footy Trip Fund, we've got Richmond here. I think Richmond, they're a fun and dangerous team. Elite spoiler team. Going to pick them against the Swans and then Tim Taranto, 30 or more touches into a nice little $7 thing there.
Oh, okay.
First time we've heard Tim Taranto's name mentioned positively
on that seat.
From that seat.
Hey, don't forget we've got our little team multi.
Yes, Lockie Neal, 25 plus. Just a nice, softly approach from me.
Nice.
Harry Mackay, 4 more goals. If one of them's going to kick, I think it's going to be Harry over Charlie.
Giants will beat Port and Collingwood will beat Melbourne. That little double is $1.63. So we'll bash it all together and get $13
What could go
roughly.
wrong? What could go wrong?
What a debut, mate.
Unbelievable.
Guys, favourite show. Watch it always. Thanks for having me.
Unbelievable.
I believe that.
All I'll say is, Kane who? Thanks for watching Kick-Ons.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.